Good evening and welcome to News Hour. I am Ibrahim Samura. Coming up in this edition of News Hour, the corpse of a 14-year-old girl has been found inside the compound of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. President Koma launches the National Emergency Medical Service Program. Sierra Leone People's Party presidential candidate embarks on his campaign to the north. Magistrate Santigi Bangura sentences 44 people for 3 months following the January 26th riot at Campbell Street. And hundreds of supporters of the Sierra Leone People's Party in Pujon defect to the APC. All these stories and more line up in this edition of News Hour. Supporters of the Sierra Leone People's Party in Tambaka, Kuya and Ketchum have assured the presidential candidate, retired Brigadier Julius Maldabiu, that they will continue to support and vote for his party despite the political odds that they are facing in their different constituencies. They made the statement during the party's campaign trail in Cambia, Putloko and Karine districts. Hawamosiri reports.
The campaign trail went on well in Koya and Tambaka chiefdoms, but the SLPP met stiff resistance in Kamalo town from supporters of the APC, disallowing the campaign to hold, which led to fracas. The campaign did not hold in Kamalo as SLPP supporters were chased out of the town, refusing them not to hang their presidential candidate posters around. In Koya chiefdom, supporters turned out in large numbers to receive their presidential candidate and national executive as the SLPP chairman of Koya chiefdom commended them. The presidential candidate of the Sierra Leone People's Party said he was in Songo to appreciate members of the party for their hard work and the interest they have manifested in diverse ways. Parliamentary candidate of constituency 078, Abdullahi Karim Kanu, also asked Maldabiu various questions relating to the construction of the Mamama Airport, and this is what he had to say before the official opening of a new party office that has been constructed.
Then you go and sign deal. And that deal, you don't say no the work. Now, life when the life over. And present to the world say they want to make Mamama, but you know the work. So now that make a talk say that particular deal. Now shake for something. Now rank up politicians, they don't want to do that one day. So that is so far about the airport. But we can't forget to take back Koya. Because Koya, they belong to SLPP, and we don't say SLPP and the Kumbra party. When we don't come back so, what's in our mind? What you want for them young people then? Because we not the father, we not the mommy, they all now ain't got prayer on the day. When they go to school, when they get good education, when they can take care of Koya, then they take care of them. And that make the big policy we get. We say, we they put the body in power now. We pay for them to get their school. We they pay for them from class 1 till they don't secondary school. When they bring the benefit come, then they go to mother again. And they can also, they take care of themselves, they put the body in power now. Some they get it, they begin to take care of the parents and also, then they get it, they begin to take care of the employers and also, that's why they benefit society. Not for come, you begin one, give one, you know, another.
In Cambia, in the Karine district, Supporters converged in different sections to listen to the SLPP presidential candidate's campaign message, which highly related to the party's manifesto and the just concluded debate. They appealed for the construction of their roads, quality education, and pipe-borne water in their communities when he becomes the president.
For we and for the population, a good community because of that free education we demand the type of talk to. Vision of me and farmer will not get nothing. Even the farming like this timber program makes so then the farming no commodities are better. So person where they can take that responsibility for really comrade for say he go able to support really picking them from that class 1 to chair until SS. We go so happy with the supporter. So glad with her. Like me too at the support, and I would talk to majority. Anybody who say we will talk to, but let we support this man when I give us mother.
Now, what you would tell the people there? Love labor. Without God the help inside some lawyer, let God help that. Anybody God say, the helper, he will make salon good, salon soon. All man he get what he need. All man he find for it before tomorrow. Let God make that. Because na power na God get. Without God don't do this, let God help.
I just left no more this power this year. So I just left no more. If you shall not vote for Mada no they win. I vote for them win. I just left the party. If you see, say I not go school, I know say me picking they can't go school, forget education. So I just like that. So I vote and support and glad for that.
The national campaign chairman of the Sierra Leone People's Party, Dr. Ali Kaba, continued to appeal to other members of the party who have not collected their party cards to do so and be the first to vote for the SLPP come March 7 elections.
Una all be registered for votes now. I know you read the answer. Una all be registered for votes. That's right. And una all get una voter ID card there, man. Una get una voter ID card. That's good. Una ready for vote March 7? Now you read that, so una ready for vote March 7 now. Una ready for vote March 7? That's good. I'm glad you una don't register for votes. Una don't get una voter ID card them. Una hold on to the voter ID card them, yeah? Let nobody not take up from una home. And then March 7 una vote. Now I got the final question. Who una get for vote for President of the Republic of Sierra Leone? Mada Bio, let Mada Bio Yeluna. Who get for be President March 7? Now you back again.
In Fintunia, retired Brigadier Julius Mada Bio also thanked SLPP members for the confidence responded on him to head the party for the elections, as the road leading to Fintunia will be one of his major projects.
Well, we're glad for dinner this afternoon. I want for confessing I'm the first time for Kanaya. So if I did free tongue, somebody go fend me from here. Before they get a job for it, and they get mercy first for his body. And we don't see the road, so we're not going to tell me about the road. If we not get any other problem, we'll go talk about down there. But the road, you mean we don't see. One country, the Tumbra party not ready for comeback, for deal with the problems. And for me, as far as I see, one, if you get to help this part of the country, from who enter Tambaka, no road not the way good. And none because they say Tambaka na SLPP. They say we're not the SLPP. Well, I want to make una stand by SLPP. If una stand by we, where the result show, me go assure una say, where we serve in our power, una go be proud say, una remain SLPP, una vote SLPP, so that una say go get the condition that we want.
What's now of urgent need is for democracy-building institutions to intensify on political tolerance campaigns, especially in hard-to-reach communities, to allow democracy to strive. SLBC TV News are in Freetown. How must we reporting?
The former UDM presidential aspirant, Pastor Yonkun Kanu, has defected to the APC party. Mr. Kanu made the declaration at the APC head office, Brookfields. Pastor Yonko Kanu defected with more than 100 of his supporters, including some executive members of the UDM. Here is the report.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Majaise, the executive of FITA, executive from the East, executive from the North, the UDM family, and pastor in groups all over FITA, within our house today, I want to officially declare today, me and the people there, officially declare with the people for the all people, doctors, the followers, follow me.
We consider this day as a red letter day in the history of the growing young generation in this country, Sierra Leone. If you look at this crowd, like young faces that are the see.
Pastor Yonko Kanu, former presidential aspirant of the UDM, resigned from the party a few months ago, and since then, he has been quiet until his defection to the ruling APC. According to Pastor Yonko, he defected to the APC because of the respect he has for the APC presidential candidate, Dr. Samura Kamara, describing him as the fittest candidate to succeed President Nkrumah. Pastor Yonko Kanu said the APC under President Nkrumah has transformed the country and has promoted the young people.
I watch people are not selfish. I watch people are not too angry. I watch them. I say, no, this not the time change we see a need. So, I don't look the activities of His Excellency, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma. I don't study them properly. I don't say, in a person, we're not a pair of young people, but they encourage young people. They give younger people an opportunity for them to exhibit their God-given talent and gifts where God endowed them.
APC Secretary General Ambassador Dr. Halaji Usman Yansone welcomed Pastor Yonko to the APC family, saying APC is a party for all that cuts across all tribes and regions. He said Pastor Yonko Kanu made the right decision to join the APC. He called on him to help educate the first-time voters on how to vote and to vote the APC come March 7. In another development, Sierra Leone's Deputy Ambassador to the UN lawyer Felix Nkrumah has called on youth of the Rescos community and its environs to come out and collect their voter ID cards if they want the APC to win the elections. Ambassador Nkrumah called on them to put all differences aside and vote in APC come March 7.
You want to talk to and say, in terms of selections on you don't get a new leadership for this constituency when I vote again, when I vote Mohamed Mansaye, wants to make Vietnam a supporter, so that at the end of the day, the person who vote and say, victory will be beyond. We not only say we support you, we for do things and the person what I use to do and what I plan to do. That is to say, for the go around, meet people there, talk to people there. Because some of we respect our family. If you talk, or put people in the area. So by that way, we go to mobilize the necessary support for them, so that we go to get an easy victory.
APC party stalwarts and constituency executives lauded Ambassador Felix Nkrumah for organizing the meeting and assured him of their support. They said his tour is for APC, promising to vote Dr. Samura Kamara. They said they will embark on a door-to-door education for voters in the various constituencies within his tour, collects their voter ID cards. Debates by young people from 6 political parties will be held on Thursday, 22nd February at the British Council Hall, Tower Hill. The debate is an older segment of the presidential debate organized by AYV, Star TV, SLBC, IRN, and the Saloon Association of Journalists, SLAJ. The debate is among young aspirants of the 6 political parties that met the 25% threshold of representation countrywide. Ransford Wright is the head of Outreach Team Presidential Debate Committee. He explained to Princess Gibson the focus of the debates.
Yes, well, following the massive success of the presidential debate, we had 2 other debates planned. So definitely those debates will be commencing tomorrow. Tomorrow on Thursday, the 22nd, we have the youth debate. That one definitely is targeting the 6 political parties who met the threshold for the presidential debate. We contacted them, and they've already identified 6 representatives from these political parties who are youths. Now these youths, they have been nominated for parliamentary position. So definitely these are MPs, but they are youth. They fall within the youth bracket, so they are 35 years and below. So they will be representing the political parties, and it's an opportunity to showcase them. Now for the women, they haven't got any age brackets. It's open, as long as it's a woman who has been nominated for any position, parliamentary position or mayoral position or whatever. So definitely they will have an opportunity it's an opportunity for them to articulate the policies and issues of their political party.
So in terms of content, what do we expect? Which areas will the debates look at?
Well, the debates will be targeting the main thematic areas, which is around human development, around inclusive governance, and also the economy. Those are the 3 themes that we're running across, but of course, there will be various other issues within those. So the focus really is to see how we want to showcase women and also showcase young people to give them an opportunity to articulate policies and issues concerning the political parties. Because sometimes people don't take women too seriously, or sometimes people despise young people and they feel that, they're not too relevant or important. So this is an opportunity for the public to interact with these candidates, to know that in spite of the fact that these are women candidates, they are women of substance, they have something to deliver, they have something to talk about, and it's an opportunity for them to showcase that. Likewise, the young people.
Is this going to take the same time as the presidential debate in terms of coverage?
Yes, definitely. We'll have it will be broadcast on TV, it will be on SLBC, it will be on AYV TV, and also it will be on radio across the country. The Independent Radio Network cover it across the country. Lots of other radio stations will be part of it. So definitely it will have a national reach, and it will be on the social media as well. So definitely in terms of global reach, people can access it from everywhere.
After the presidential debate, I believe you got some feedback in terms of the questions that were asked, the time allocation, the medium. So have you taken those concerns, those comments into this segment?
Yes, definitely. We've taken all of those into consideration. There have been some genuine concerns. There have been some other concerns which for us, it's just that people always find something to complain about. But one of the major things that we've taken into consideration, which we have addressed for this debate from the training yesterday, is the fact that if the moderator asks a question in English, the candidate should respond in English. If the moderator asks the question in Creole, the candidate should respond in Creole. So that is one lesson that we learned, and that is something that we've already addressed. So for this debate, that is going to be the format. And also for this debate, another inclusion is the fact that the audience will have an opportunity to ask questions.
Who is moderating this?
And for this one, the moderators, we're going to have 2 moderators. Again, another change in the format. We're going to have 2 moderators. The moderator, the female moderator will be Olabisi Garrick, and the male will be Edward Kagbo. So the 2 of them will moderate this debate.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So when do we look forward for the female side?
The female debate will take place next Thursday, and that will be on the 1st of March. The female debate will take place.
Head of Outreach Team Presidential Debate Committee, Ransford Wright, speaking to Princess Gibson. You are watching News Hour, coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Supporters. Over 4,000 people in the Pujon District, Southern Region, have declared for the APC and Dr. Samura Kamara. The declaration and the signing of the party forms were done in the Makbele Chiefdom, Pujon Districts. This is part of the APC presidential candidate campaign tour of the regions. Abubakar Bangura reports.
Dr. Samura Kamara and his campaign troops in the various districts were received by the people in a jubilant mood, describing the APC flag bearer as a man of many opportunities, wealth of experience, and a blessing for the people of Sierra Leone. This is evident in every district, chiefdom, and village visited. People came out in their thousands from every nook and crannies of their communities to welcome him and to listen to what he had to say. At Jurun village in Makpele Chiefdom, even though it was late at night, people waited for the APC flag bearer, Dr. Samura Kamara, and entourage. The APC executives in the district introduced people that were supporting the SLPP and have decided to join and support the APC due to developments in their chiefdoms. They cited they have been supporting the SLPP over the years, but there is nothing to show for it. But with the assumption of office in 2007 under the leadership of President Ernest Bai Koroma, and with Dr. Samura Kamara, their district is gaining its lost glory in terms of infrastructural development such as roads, schools, children's welfare, and improving the lives of people. The new convert to the APC said they will join the campaign trail in the district to ensure that the APC candidates win all seats and Dr. Samura Kamara becomes the next president of Sierra Leone. Dr. Samura Kamara welcomed them to the APC, the party of light, saying it's the party that will take them out of poverty and provide them with better opportunities. He said he has seen their challenges and when becomes the president of Sierra Leone, he will address their needs. At Jendema in the Sorogbema Chiefdom within the Sierra Leone and Liberia border, Dr. Samura Kamara told the people that the APC has formidable people on board that has this country at heart. He said the transformational change that the people have seen since 2007 under the reign of President Ernest Bai Koroma is massive and it is time for more development programs.
We all have one family. I do not understand that APC will not get loser. APC na winner the normal will get. You don't understand what to do? Because we have opportunities na APC. If you don't be minister, you don't be councillor, other way APC go help you. Nothing no day where APC government go one do. So then why I don't talk so they're not showing us saying they are united. So we don't say we have to be united around them. We have to give them firm support. Because if we're not behind them, we're not going to be behind me. If we're not behind me, we're not going to be behind APC. But APC ain't get to one. So after APC, other party. Other party.
He told the people to vote in all the APC candidates, describing them as people who will champion developments in their constituencies. He informed the people about the Bandajuma to Jendema Road under construction that will ease free movement of goods and people from one place to another. Dr. Samura Kamara and team also visited Zimi, Fairo, Gulaun Tunkia, among others, where he was assured of an APC victory come March 7th. He told the people that the APC is an all-inclusive party regardless of tribal affiliations or regions, and it is a grassroots party. He said he will support the people with the necessary tools to improve agriculture. Dr. Samoa Kamara also held meeting at Tongo Field in the Lower Bambara Chiefdom. The local authorities in the chiefdom said the APC has done a lot for the people. He cited John Bonosise, Momo Vandi, Minister of State Finance, among others, for their support to the chiefdom. Dr. Samoa Kamara said under the APC, Tongo is a new place with lots of opportunities. He said with the coming into governance of the APC in 2007, Tongo has seen changes with people doing their businesses, making them self-reliant. He said more jobs will be created in the district and called on them to stop mining and embark on agricultural production as the Ministry of Agriculture will provide them with the necessary support. He thanks the people for their support to the APC. However, Dr. Samoa Kamara also visited Makeni in the Bombale district. His motorcade passed through large crowds of supporters from Masongbong to the Wosum playing field, where he addressed thousands of APC supporters. Dr. Samoa Kamara noted that there is no doubt that Makeni is true APC. He said APC is a family and a peaceful party. The large turnout indicates that the party is winning. He said with the support and commitment of the people of Makeni, APC has won the election. He told them not to allow anybody to fool them. He said this time the APC will continue to work for the people of Sierra Leone in line with its grassroots manifesto. He told the people to collect their voter ID cards that will allow them to vote in the elections. As he continues with his campaign trail, the APC presidential candidate Dr. Samoa Kamara visited Bradford in the Ribi Chiefdom. Bradford, he said, is a solid ground for the APC, and going forward with the APC, the party will continue to address their concerns. He informed them about the construction of the Mamama Airport, which will provide more jobs and increase business opportunities. He said the APC government has improved education for all, especially the girl child. Within the last 10 years, Sierra Leone have seen more jobs and development. At Rotifunk in the Bumpe Chiefdom, PC Charles Coker described the visit of Dr. Samoa Kamara as a milestone in the history of his chiefdom. Dr. Samoa Kamara said with him as president, it will be a positive incremental production continuation. Other speakers at the ceremony also thanked Dr. Samoa Kamara for visiting them. They assured Dr. Samoa Kamara that this time round they will vote for the APC. For SLBC News, Abubakar Bangura reporting.
This is News Hour coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Well, viewers, from the story we just ran that has to do with the allegation of the attack of supporters of the Sierra Leone People's Party in Karina District. Well, we have in studio Ajibu Jallo from the All People's Congress to get the side of the All People's Congress. And good evening and welcome to SLBC News Hour, Ajibu.
Good evening, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Mr. Jallo, could you just explain to us what really happened at Kamalu Town?
Well, as it is, the information I have is the fact that the SLPP, who were scheduled to conduct their own campaign at the particular time, were in Kamalu, and they found out that they did not have any paraphernalia or materials in terms of posters. And they were ill-informed that the people in Kamalu had refused or not allowed them to actually hang posters. And as such, they forcefully decided that they were going to go ahead and hang posters all over the town. Unfortunately, the house at which they wanted to hang one of the posters, the owner of the house said, no, I don't want that poster there. They insisted on hanging the poster. They turned around and decided, well, they're going to hang the poster on a well that was established well that was there. And the owner also said, you cannot put that poster on the well. They thought that the well was built by government, and the owner said, no, that well was built by Dr. Samura Kamara, and I will not have you put a poster. And of course, they hung a poster there, and the poster was removed. And so they decided that we're going to retaliate. And they moved around and decided to bring down all the posters right across the city, the town. And of course, the youth tried to stop them, and that's where the scuffle took place.
So from the report you gathered so far, who started on the conflict?
Obviously the SLPP. We have absolutely...
But the SLPP, they too also are saying that they are alleging that some supporters of the People's Congress attacked the convoy of their presidential candidate.
That's absolutely untrue, because we have no reason for to bring about violence. We have every reason to stop any form of violence. We have a lot to celebrate. We have a lot to talk about, and certainly it will not be in our best interest to promote violence in any shape or form. That said, the investigation is ongoing, and I'm quite sure that once all of this is unraveled, we'll see clearly that the violence was perpetrated by the SLPP.
But Ajibu also reports that we are getting that gunshots were heard. It is true, and who fired?
I cannot speak to that at the moment. Like I said, I'll give you a brief synopsis of what is alleged, and the information I have gotten from those that are on the ground, what has been informed, how my office has been briefed. But with regards to whether gunshot was heard or it was fired, that will come out at the end of the investigations. I really and truly don't want to prejudice the investigation at this point. I really cannot say more than what I have said. I would like us to be careful and just allow the investigation to be conducted, and at the end we'll find out what's what. But with the same token, I want to take the opportunity now to appeal to everyone in sundry that violence cannot be tolerated in any shape or form. There should be no use for violence. Go out and tell the people what you can do, how you can do what you intend to do, and let that be your modus operandi. We should not be engaging in any form of violence. That behavior was a cowardice behavior, and shame on those that were engaged in such behavior.
But Mr. Jallo, but also the police are supposed to provide security for political parties. Was the police presence felt in Kamalu from your report you gathered so far?
Well, certainly the police presence was felt. I must tell you that the people of Kamalu are very peaceful people. There has never been any form of violence in that particular area of the country for a very long time. And naturally, the police have a very good relationship with the individuals there. So force is not something one would think about once there's a scuffle. They've always been able to settle whatever issues they have amongst themselves, and that has never ever amounted to any form of violence whatsoever.
So what's next? So what the government is going to do to ensure that we know the truth of the matter?
We'll allow the police, the force for good, to go ahead and perform their duty, but as a government, we still have the responsibility of making sure that everyone is peaceful and that lives and properties are protected, and we will ensure that that happens. I think we've heard from the Minister of Internal Affairs this morning. He was on the radio, 98.1 to be particular, and he has said that there will be no compromise whatsoever if you're caught in an act of violence.
So, Mr. Jallo, before leaving you, during your campaign trail, did you tell people about non-violence, use of tolerance during your campaign, or just telling them what you want to do if elected?
A major part of the discussion is the fact that violence should not be encouraged. Violence should be identified and stopped immediately. And as we go around, we should say the things and do the things that would allow the people of this country to actually see and understand what we have done as a party and why they should vote the party back in under Dr. Samura Matthew Wilson Kamara and Honorable Chairman Ba. And certainly we should not be engaged in any form of violence. There's absolutely no reason to be violent. I mean, there's so much we have done as a government in terms of the politics, in terms of democracy, in terms of social interactions, in terms of the economy. We can talk about that all day. Sierra Leone has changed remarkably. Sierra Leone has changed drastically. Sierra Leone has changed extraordinarily in the last 10 years.
And many thanks to you.
Record.
And many thanks to Ajibu Jallow. Ajibu Jallow is talking on behalf of the All People's Congress, reacting to allegation we are getting from Karine District on alleged allegation. We heard that the convoy of the presidential candidates of the Salone People's Party was attacked by some alleged supporters of the All People's Congress. Well, many thanks to Ajibu Jallow. We continue with News Hour. You are watching News Hour coming to you live from the Salone Broadcasting Corporation here in Freetown. The West Africa Examination Council has concluded a one-day seminar on the theme Teaching and Performance of Candidates in Business Studies at Becker Levels. The seminar attracted pupils from various secondary schools who are preparing to attempt this year's Becker. Asmiba reports.
WAEC normally organizes this forum to expose students to the key subjects of Becker and WAS. During these seminars, experts in the specific subjects are invited to present academic papers to the would-be candidates. The experts will do a proper academic presentation in order to enable the students understand the subjects, how to answer questions in the examination, their style of answering in order to earn marks from examiners. This month's seminar focuses on business studies, which is one of the main subjects, especially for those who may want to go to the commercial. They are expected to have a grip of the subjects if they are to score good grades in their public exam. Arthur Ojukwu Hickson said business studies is very crucial to students as it teaches them to become entrepreneurs and job providers. Mr. Hickson called on the students to master business studies for a brighter future. Acting Head of Research, WAEC, A. Momo, said the seminar will guide students in their career path. He said previous seminars helped candidates to understand questions and how to answer them. Head of National Office, Arnold Kamara, said the seminar is in line with his institution's mandate to help candidates pass the exam. He said since 2014 to date, the passes in business studies have increased at WAS level and credited it largely to this kind of seminar. A representative from the Ministry of Education from the Basic Education Division said business studies is an essential component and called on teachers to make the subject interesting and reading friendly. The guest presenter teaches business studies at the Annie Walsh Memorial School. In her presentation, Celestine Adekol was able to dissect the subjects for the understanding of the students.
I would like to thank all those who are present here today to grace this wonderful seminar. Let me thank a cross-section of WAEC, from this noble institution, teachers of secondary school, and my dear boys and girls, who I normally called my princes and princesses.
From this point, these next purchases, you're going to add it to this opening stock, okay? When you add the opening stock, which is 4,000, it's in the second Lyons column, and then you add your next purchases too, which you've added all these in the second Lyons column, you add this opening stock plus this next purchases, and you'll get your total stock of goods available for sale. Take note, it's total stock of goods available for sale, okay? Then, there comes in. You've treated your opening stock on the trading account on the debit side. Did you remember? Now, you've treated again, closing stock, once, minus closing stock. Did you remember that?
As this seminar ends, the 2017 Becker candidates have been given the opportunity to know the complexities of the subjects and how to meet the expectation of the examiners even before they face the exam, which no doubt will aid them.
The seminar was all about reflecting on subjects, especially on bookkeeping, because as the lecturer told us, there are 4 aspects in business studies, and she more reflected on bookkeeping because most teachers tend to avoid this topic because some don't like the topic and some think that the pupils will be more bored when they are teaching this subject. So she reflected on all these topics, and then I learned a lot because there are some certain aspects that you can't be able to ask in the classroom. Maybe you'll be ashamed of your friends, or you don't want your friends to laugh at you. But in the seminar, I was able to learn a lot, and I was able to express myself, my vivid opinion. on the topics that she taught.
So how
I learned so many things, like double entry, try balance, and balance sheet. And in double entry, they have taught us about debit and credit, which one should be in the left-hand side, which one should be in the right-hand side.
A 14-year-old girl has been found dead inside the compound of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology in the early hours of Wednesday. The girl, according to the police, was reported to have absconded from home since Thursday, February 15, 2018, and had since not been seen. Her body was discovered with some parts missing. Suriba Samura has more.
It is now becoming the trend for missing children to be found dead and some of their body parts missing. The case of this 14-year-old girl at Smart Lane in New England community is peculiar in that her body lay bare for up to a week without being noticed. The body of this 14-year-old girl was found within the perimeter of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. The relatives of the deceased were shocked by the news of the discovery of the body of their child by workers of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. When SLBC visited the scene, the pictures were not good to see as the body had decomposed. The officer commanding England Police Station explains to SLBC that few days ago they received a report that a girl had gone missing.
Well, the other day a corpse was also discovered at the Red Pump. We also went there and we went to the media houses, talked to the people, communities to come forward to give us information leading to the incidences. So yes, so it's like we rely on the community to help, to support, to collaborate, and to give us the fact relating to this incident. In fact, just Friday, we held a big community meeting, telling people, right, adjuring people to be security conscious, so that they must transcend, disseminate information, intelligence to the SLP, and we all must all work together to enhance safety and security in our environment. We'll continue to patrol our areas, mobile patrols, day in, day out. We don't sit in the stations. We are very proactive. My men are always out. Myself and my officers, we are all out. We go to the hilly ends, the unmotorable places, those areas where you don't have vehicular mobility. We go into those communities. We tell the communities. I went there and I have visited all the ministries. I have told them I am the new commanding officer and I must be.
Workers from the Connaught mortuary came to collect the remains of this 14-year-old girl. Suriba Samura, SLBC.
The Westminster Foundation for Democracy has held a two-day forum for parliamentary staff on parliamentary proceedings. The workshop was held at the Katko International Hotel. Daphne Kimamakole filing these reports.
That many important bills were not passed by the outgone parliament because parliamentarians were not properly orientated. For a better parliament this time round, the Westminster Foundation for Democracy has concluded a two-day workshop for staff of parliament on parliamentary proceedings for the necessary laws to be made. Issues dilated in the workshop are how parliamentarians should function during plenary sessions, the history of parliament and its functions. Issues dilated in the workshop are how parliamentarians should function during plenary session, the history of Parliament and its functions. In this workshop, it is expected that these staff of Parliament would prepare an agenda for the orientation, induction and arrangements for the first sitting of Parliament. It was agreed that the orientation and induction be done before the first sitting of Parliament. Westminster Foundation is working to support and strengthen democracy around the world through developing political parties and parliamentary institutions. Regional Director, Westminster Foundation, George Kunat, and lead facilitator explained to members of staff of Parliament skills and processes of induction training, how to prepare, develop and deliver PowerPoint presentation.
It's good for you to maybe spend some time in the IT field, talking about WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, those things that an MP is going to use. Say things on Twitter, because it will harm them. You know? It's about telling them how to use it a bit.
Mohamed Jallo is the country representative of Westminster Foundation in Sierra Leone. Senior Clerk of Committees Momodu Lamindin Rogers and some other staff of Parliament raised concerns over the orientation and induction period if there is a runoff in the elections. For SLBC News, Daphne Kimamakoli reporting.
The program manager expanded program on immunization, Dr. Dennis Mark, and said that the introduction of the injectable polio vaccine into the routine immunization is meant to boost the oral polio vaccine to eradicate polio. He made the statement during a press conference on the introduction of the injectable polio vaccine at the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. Joseph Stanley reports.
The introduction of the injectable polio vaccine into the routine immunization is to ensure polio-free countries are better protected against polio reinfection and re-emergence. According to Dr. Mark, the polio virus is a highly infectious disease that is caused by a virus that can cause irreversible disability and can spread rapidly from person to person in our community. Giving a brief history about the polio, he said in 1988, 350,000 cases of polio was reported in 125 endemic countries, and as a result of that, WHO declared a global fight to eradicate the virus. He added that since the global collective efforts to eradicate polio, only 22 cases were reported last year in 3 countries, noting that it is a drastic reduction. The program manager said the introduction of the inactivated polio virus vaccine is to ensure that children are better protected from all polio diseases, among others.
This is the most interesting part of it. Why do we want to introduce inactivated polio virus? Why? Now, if we remember in 2015, we had a press conference. We had said we are going to move from TOPV 3 variants to BOPV 2 variants, not so. And at that time we needed to introduce IPV. But this was a global effort. All countries needed to introduce that. So because of that global demand, the manufacturer was not able to meet the demand. And Sierra Leone will be shifting our consignment, our quota, until now when we have received it and when we are going forward to introduce it. And by introducing it, we are reducing the risk of an outbreak of the type 2 virus. In case of an outbreak, it will quickly control the outbreak.
Dr. Dennis Mark said the vaccine is safe and will boost child's immunity and has no serious adverse effects reported following the vaccination with the injectable polio vaccine. It disclosed that both injectable polio vaccine and the oral polio vaccine can be administered to the children at the same time. The WHO Expanded Program on Immunization team leader Dr. William Bambazi said the injectable polio vaccine has been introduced since the early 60s and be used in many countries and proved to be cost-effective. The health education manager Lansana Conte commended media practitioners for their continued support and encouraged them to continue the good work to ensure a quality health outcomes. An interactive session formed part of the ceremony. SLBC News Joseph Stanley reporting.
For the latest in sports, we now join Esther Marie Samara as now set with the latest in sports.
Hello and welcome to Sports Update on the Silent Broadcasting Corporation. I am Esther Marie Samora. The official launching of training for the 2018 Commonwealth Games has ended at the tennis court in Freetown. The training was launched by the Minister of Sport, Honorable Ahmed Kano, on Wednesday, 21st February 2018, in the presence of the athletes, members of the National Olympic Committee, journalists, among others. 8 sporting disciplines will be representing Sierra Leone at the Commonwealth Games in Australia from 4th and 15th April 2018. Details of that story will meet you in our subsequent programs. And in the international scene, Manchester United had a 0 draw with their opponent Seville in the ongoing Champions League, while Chelsea had a 1-0 draw with Barcelona. Lionel Messi pushes single mistake to take crucial away goal to Camp Nou after Chelsea were taking the lead in the second half of the play in Stamford Bridge. At the point, Messi scored 75 minutes into a classic Champions League tie. Barcelona had enjoyed around 75% of the possession. We'll bring you highlights of the match.
Эмерсона Палмьери, одного из новичков команды, Челси выходит играть в первом матче 1-8. Барса редко обороняется, поэтому гол, который могли бы быть. Ну а сейчас Иньеста забрасывает мяч в штрафную. Здесь Аспиликуэта, там Мозес. Абсолютно прав, его ассистент в том числе. На этом повторе мы разберемся безусловно. Да, конечно, мяч ушел. Довольно спорное решение. Казалось, по крайней мере, мяч уже не покинул пределы поля. Вот так, поворотом и гол! Гол! Виллиан! 1-0! Ловляют Виллиана, самого опасного в плане ударов издали. Попал в угол, Тер Стеген был отыгран. Ну и, конечно, будем разбирать в деталях этот эпизод. В этом матче футболисты Барселоны и получают. С третьей попытки. Отметить забитый гол. Попал в штангу, когда Челси играл против Хала. Дважды сегодня. Как вот этот финт, смотрите. Как он убрал просто Бускетса и такой крученый удар. Самый угол. Какой удар! Какие у него быстрые ноги. Ворот Тер Стегена, конечно, был голкипер Барселоны. Риск был оправдан. Пас на Суареса. Суарес ставит корпус. Падает Суарес. Барселона и Пари Сен-Жермен. Иньеста мяч перехватывает. Месси.
Away from the international scene, now into a local football mini leagues competition at the Central One Football Association, Wilberforce community had a goalless draw with Babadoi community, whilst at the Sierra Dreams Foundation Tolombo Trophy, Seaside community defeated Kisi by a goal to nil. That's the latest update in sport. I am Esther Maisamara. Thanks for watching.
Many thanks to Esther Marie Samura for the latest in sports. Now to end the news, the main points again. The corpse of a 14-year-old girl has been found inside the compound of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. President Ernest Bai Krumah has launched the National Emergency Medical Services Program. SLPP presidential candidate has embarked on his campaign to the north. Magistrate Santigi Bangura has sentenced 54 people for 3 months following the January 26th riot at Campbell Streets. And hundreds of supporters of the SLPP in Pujon have defected to the APC party. That's all in this edition of News Hour. On behalf of my editor, I am Ibrahim Samura. For more information about our program, do send us your comments to SLPC.